Hello, welcome. How are you feeling today? Taking a moment before we begin balancing our energies to check in with yourself. Perhaps scanning your body from head to toe, noticing any areas. Maybe you have some tension, any discomfort, heaviness. And how are you feeling emotionally? Perhaps there may be things weighing on you, things bothering you right now. You might have some things you're feeling upset. Your mind might be racing. Taking a baseline, noticing where you are. And we're going to start with the stomach thump. Sometimes people call this the grounding thump. So certainly if you are feeling at all emotional this morning, this is one of the exercises that potentially could make a difference, because sometimes when we're feeling emotional, when we're overwhelmed, anxious, one of the things that contributes to that feeling is that we are not fully grounded. And now coming below the middle of your collarbone, about an inch below, there's a dip round here if you wanted to feel and see if you can find the exact spot. However, when you are tapping, you're using several fingers. So don't worry about being in the precise spot with your tapping. As long as you're tapping in this region, you will be accessing the points and you will be balancing your kidney energy. One of the main benefits of this exercise is that it's an energy boost. So I share that as a reminder that if you ever feel tired and you're flagging, perhaps mid-afternoon, this is a great exercise to try. And certainly you might do it for a little bit longer. Now we're going in the middle of the chest for the thymus thump. And then the fourth thump is the spleen meridian thump. So tapping at the side of your body, about halfway down your rib cage, also at the front. Noticing how the areas feel. You might prefer one of the spots over the other, so maybe you'll spend more time there if you have a preference and it feels better. Also with these points, at times they can be sore because a lot of people, particularly women wearing bras at times with wires, can get congestion in the energies round here. So this tapping that we're doing helps to break up any congestion. So if you do have a spot that's sorer, then tapping there over time should help to alleviate that soreness. Okay, let's go on to crossing over our energies, starting with the cross crawl. Tuning in, checking out what feels right to you this morning. Would you prefer to do a more slow, gentle movement? Or you might want to speed it up, make it a bit more aerobic. And bringing your crossing to a close, we'll do shoulder pulls, going from your shoulder to the opposite hip. And once you've done 3 or 4 of those movements on each side, taking a breath or two and noticing how you are feeling. The exercises we're doing are some of the most fundamental energy flows in the body. It's the basis of good health and well-being for pretty much everyone on the planet. So really taking the time to notice any subtle changes so you can figure out more of what you need for yourself. We're doing the Wayne Cook exercise next, so crossing one leg over the other, bringing your arms out, palms facing outwards, crossing your arms, clasping your fingers, and then coming underneath, And remember, this exercise is also a very key aspect of our energies. And in my experience, there are lots of people that will have habits here, just like with crossing over. And I've known in many situations there to be people that once they get out of that habit of being scrambled, so right now as you hold this pose, you are unscrambling your energies. And the more that you build that habit and you teach your energies how to stay unscrambled, the more you're likely to be grounded, to think clearer, to react less at times. When life happens, sometimes we might have a big reaction quite quickly. When you're not scrambled, you're more grounded, you're more likely to deal with things with a sense of ease. So I notice with people sometimes that have habits in this way, that it can be so transformative. People feel so much better when the new habit is in place. So let's switch and do the other side of the body, crossing your legs the other way. And taking some deep breaths here if you haven't already while you're holding this pose. And perhaps asking yourself the question of, where in my body or my energies can I feel a sense of relaxation and ease here? And in doing so, beginning to understand more about what it feels like for you when you are not scrambled. And now the final part of the Wayne Cut, bringing your fingers and thumbs together, resting your thumbs above your nose at your third eye. Taking a breath or two here. And then placing your fingers on your forehead and dragging over to your temples, giving your hands a shake. And now we'll do the crown pull, stretching across at the midline, going all the way over the top of your head, round the back. Noticing any areas where maybe it feels really nice, like when you go for a massage and it just feels really good. And considering, does it feel like I'm clearing a lot of stuck energy there? And if you think you might be, then perhaps doing a few more stretches at that spot. You might explore what it's like to change the pressure. Oftentimes, firmer and deeper pressure will move more stuck energy. But that doesn't mean that that's what's right for you, because what's right for you is what feels good to you. And when you pull the energy off at the front, really giving your hands a good shake, you could do that more than once if you'd like. Really smoothing off, and let's come to the forehead, smoothing away any last bits of stuck energy. And let's pull out the ears. It's so lovely combining a crown pull with pulling out the ears sometimes, and I know some people just love this one. So I'll come a bit closer in case it's a newer one. You want to, let's first just massage a little bit. So you could use either your thumbs behind your ears, or you could have your fingers there. Just using your fingers and thumbs, however it feels nice, to create a bit of pressure, a bit of a massage, either in a circular movement, or you might go more sideways. Just clearing a bit of stuck energy here. And now when we're going to pull them out, we're going to open up the ear area by just pulling. And the amount that you pull is up to you. So maybe start with just a little bit and increase it. Sometimes you can actually use a lot of pressure here and really pull quite hard. And it can feel amazing. But it might feel better with gentler pressure as well. So, of course, Try it different ways, see what feels nice, perhaps pulling that energy off a few more times, and then smoothing down and off again. Taking a moment now to notice all your head area, certainly around your ears, because there's a real possibility you may feel a difference there. But then everything is connected. So around your head, neck, shoulders, perhaps you feel lighter, maybe some warmth or a sense of a breeze or tingles. The next exercise we'll do is the zip up, so bringing your hands over your pubic bone to begin, taking a breath in and coming all the way up, zipping yourself up, protecting yourself from outside energies, and then your arms come down as you breathe out. And then we do that several times, so feel free to do it at your own pace. Then the final time you come up your midline, ending at your lips, turning your hands to lock in that zip up, noticing how you're feeling. And then we'll do the hook up. So placing a middle finger either inside your belly button or just above. And then also at your third eye, pushing in and pulling up at both locations. And if you've never tried a hook up with your finger just above your belly button, then I invite you to try it. If not now, then at some other time when it pops into your mind and you think, yeah, I'll give it a go now. See what it feels like. 99% of the time when I do my hook up, I'm inside my belly button. But last night in the bath, I was drawn and it just felt right. And I didn't know why, it just came to me to go above my belly button. So I held that hook up for about 10 minutes. And after a couple of minutes, I was actually quite surprised. How would I put it? It felt like the finger that was above my belly button was inside my body, but in the most pleasant way. It was a very, very lovely feeling, but it felt like I was hooking in, and I can feel it a little bit now. So I've chosen this morning to do the hook up in the same way. And it was a very grounding, just wonderful feeling. So I really invite you to try it. And if you're ever drawn to modifying other exercises in small, similar ways, then try it. Trust yourself, because often it's a real gift. It's like a big win. You discover something new about your energies and new ways to make yourself feel better. So let's relax out of that now, give your arm a good shake, and let's smooth down, that upper arm holding up there. Sometimes just holding a pose can cause a little bit of stagnant energy and things are moving, so sweeping that off. And let's introduce a few crossing over as well, giving your crossovers a little bit of an extra boost at this point and noticing how that feels. All right, we're going to do connecting heaven and earth now. So we start in this prayerful position and going at your own pace, breathing in, and with one arm palm up, the other one palm down, getting a nice stretch, holding your breath. Where do you feel the stretch today? And then breathing out, coming back to the middle when you're ready, and doing the same thing on the other side. And then doing a second time on each side of the body. You may want to see if you can reach a bit more this time. As you make space, that makes it more possible to reach. So even if it's just a few more millimeters each way, that can really elongate the stretch and make lots more space. When you breathe out the final time, bending forwards, bending your knees if you have any back trouble, so you really take care of your back. Feeling your feet planted on the ground, maybe noticing the connection between the soles of your feet and the ground. And when you're ready, beginning to move from side to side and using your arms as you swing to make figure eights and coming back up to either standing or seated. And we'll add in some extra eights, perhaps asking yourself the question, if I knew what style of figure eights would be for my highest benefit this morning, what would it be? See what comes into your mind. It might be a word like big or small, or you might get an image that comes to mind. And just trusting that. And if nothing comes to you, no problem. You can only really bring balance by doing figure eights. They are so harmonizing and they support our energies in countless ways. So whether you're doing bigger ones, smaller ones, also the direction, the speed, it's all wonderful to bring more figure eights into your energies. You can also figure eight an environment, a room. So I feel drawn to say, let's do that just a little bit now as well. So in the space, wherever you are now, it doesn't matter even if you're outdoors perhaps, just doing some figure eight in the room or wherever you are. And having that intention that you are figure eighting the environment around you, bringing balance to everything in your space. And there are certainly lots of different possible ways that we can clear and balance the energy in our homes or our work places or anywhere at all. Some of you have probably heard of smudging with sage sticks and Palo Santo because that's one of the most common things that people do. But now you have another tool in your toolkit, and this one's quite nice because you're probably not always carrying around a sage stick with you, but you have your hands. Your hands are your tools that are with you, and so you can do figure eights anytime that you would like. All right. Let's return to bringing figure eights into our own energies with the Celtic weave exercise. So rubbing your hands together to begin and shaking them off. Now rubbing them together again, you may feel a bit of heat as you're building up some fresh energy here. Opening up your hands, you can open them a little bit or a lot, whatever feels right. And then bringing that fresh energy to your head, taking a breath or more here. And in your own time, when you're ready, weaving. So you could change the speed, the size of the eight, really feeling into it today. And you breathe in, you cross in front. And when you breathe out, you come out to the side. And then we go down the body several times. And after you've done several, weaving the eights in front, rolling up your aura as you come back up with circular movements. Doing this anywhere around you that feels good. You might notice a pattern on different days. You might find every time I come to my head area, it just feels nice. And it might seem a little bit strange to you, but you just know you like it coming up here. And so you might not spend hours and hours doing this because your arms are up in the sky, But having that self-awareness means you can bring in more of that when you do fluff your aura. Okay, so bringing your fluffing to a close, letting your arms hang wherever they go naturally, taking a deep breath and tuning in, maybe closing your eyes and just noticing how you are feeling. And we're going to go on to the radiant circuit, so bringing in more joy, more ease, grace, healing energies. And if there is anything on your mind at the moment, something that's bothering you a little bit, then you could bring that into your mind while you trace your radiant circuits. It's not necessary, but it can be a really wonderful approach in the right circumstances if it feels good to you to approach it this way. And so just picking one thing in your life that you're a little bit stressed about, and if you were to pick 10 things, that would be probably too much to do at once. That's a lot of stress. It's a lot to ask of your energies. But by picking one thing, maybe your car's broken down, you need a repair of some kind, and then tracing the radiant circuits at the same time, what that will do is it will help your radiant circuits to stay really harmonized and active in the face of the stress. So you'll be able to manage it with much more ease. So you could do that, or just tracing them by themselves is a fantastic thing to do, of course. So we start with belt flow. So reaching round to the back, smoothing round and across your belly to the opposite waist 3 or 4 times. And then picking that energy up at the opposite waist, smoothing all the way down your leg and off your foot. Then doing the same thing on the other side. And then we're going to trace penetrating flow, which starts at the Ming Men point behind your belly button. Taking a breath in. And then as you breathe out, dropping down, lowering your hands several inches, and then breathing in, coming up round your hips, breathing out, and lowering to your pubic bone. Breathing in again, and coming all the way up the front of your body to your mouth, and then breathing out and tracing some figure eights here. And remember, penetrating flow is one of the pathways in the body where it really allows us to take things in deeply, including the beauty of things. So I share that because if you have times in life where you're feeling quite flat and low, and you're finding that you're disconnected from a sense of beauty, of joy, and perhaps you're looking at something that sometimes might give you warm feelings inside. You know, maybe you're with a friend having a cup of tea, or you're taking a walk and there's some beautiful trees, and maybe it all just feels a bit rubbish and flat, and there's a disconnect. You can't engage and take that in. Then that's a sign that you would benefit from more balance within your penetrating flow. So bear that in mind, because I truly believe that we all were here to experience, to learn. And I think part of our birthright is to feel feelings of joy, of love, of peace. And I wish that for everyone. And some of you will know that I went through many, many years of quite major depression and anxiety, and had some big struggles for a long time. So my heart wishes for all of us that we would know more peace and more ease in life. Maybe tuning in now, noticing how are you feeling, having traced penetrating, and really taking a bit of time with the figure eights there as well. We'll do yin bridge now, so coming into your power point, right at the top of the back of your neck, smoothing up over the top of your head to your forehead. Then you come through the bridge of the nose onto your cheekbones and tap a little bit. When you're here, you could do just a few seconds or longer. Likewise for kidney, the next part of the tracing. And now let's trace 3 hearts. Then resting your hands flat on your belly and smoothing all the way down your legs and off your feet. Now we trace the yang bridge. So making horizontal figure 8s about the width of your body. Going from head to toe at least one time in front of you. And now turning around and about turn, or visualising if you prefer. Seeing and trusting those figure 8s, harmonising your yang bridge behind you. Now we'll do the bridge flow connecting the front and the back of the body. So making figure 8s from front to back. Creating a real bridge here, connecting the energies. And let's do the regulator flows. So to start with the in-regulator, tracing a heart on a stick, then smoothing down your arms and all the way down the front of your body and off your feet. For yang regulator, smoothing round both of your ears, and then once again coming down your arms and then the back of your body. So helping your energies to regulate. Wonderful to do at this point because you've been changing your energies for the last half hour or so. So supporting your energies to regulate so you can integrate all these energy shifts. Now we're going to do a vagus nerve exercise, so placing one hand on your lower belly, popping your thumb inside your belly button if you'd like to, resting your other hand anywhere at all at your neck, and taking some deep breaths here. Remember, the vagus nerve really relates to our stress response. It has so many very important, arguably critical functions in the body. But one of the most important ones that's relevant for a lot of people is relating to our stress response and how we manage stress. So breathing here deeply, really encouraging your energies to move. And keeping your hands resting here while I share some light language to support your integration. Kianakua sakakaka sio se tukayasa shiotaka suanatika kakakaka sutati o se sia na tu ukanana nasaya suakwa shioka tone se ese ana si o salasi o nase shuakasele aya aya kuana tuakasioka shele iosa tuakasi o sheneisa tuaka. Take some deep breaths. Notice how you're feeling. And now I'm going to choose an oracle card. Let's see what wisdom comes forth for today. All right, dear people, I wonder what this might spark within you. The message is big, bold vision. So maybe immediately upon hearing that and seeing it, you might have some thoughts come up. It might spark some feelings within you. Or maybe it's something you might just reflect on for today as the day passes. All right. So I wish for each of you, may you hold a big, bold vision for yourself. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't think there is a right or a wrong in sense of no judgment here. However, what might you take from this to carry you into your day, to bring you more vitality, more of what you want in your life? So I hope you have a lovely day. Make it beautiful for yourself. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you tomorrow. It will be day 21 of these weeks together. Take care.